everybody. So at this point, I have my PPE on, so my respirator and my nitrile gloves. I have already warmed part A and mixed it with part B. And I'm separating out some resin, enough probably 10 ounces, so I can mix in some glitter and pour the snail shelf, organizing everything because I am an unorganized person. Mix that blue and silver in for kind of a disco look, but I'm not entirely sure what you'd call it. I mixed it a long time ago when I first started collecting glitter, before I actually got into resin. I know you can't tell from this angle, but there is not enough resin in this snail, so we're gonna pour a little bit more resin from the big cup into the little cup and get him a little more filled up. My goal is to not have to dome the snail if I don't have to. Next on the list is mixing some red pigment in so I can kind of like dome the dinosaur ashtray while he's still in his mold. I use eye candy pigment for most of my coloring, and I love this red. It fits the strawberry very well. And it sparkles or shimmers just a little bit, so enough that you don't need to add, glitter. So we're filling that dinosaur, trying to make sure that we don't overfill and have resin spill over everywhere. We're going to separate out some more resin so we can make our next piece. But before we get into that, I'm going to spray everything down with some rubbing alcohol to kill all of the air bubbles that have risen to the top. Next, I'm mixing in some of my favorite mix. It's a galaxy looking mix. It's got stars and glitter chunks and all sorts of different stuff in it. And we're going to fill the snail that I've painted the body of blue. Kind of mess around with it, trying to get the resin into the eye stalks and antenna. Doesn't always work out very well, but sometimes using something to poke down into there will pull the air out and let the resin in. And I've got some extra resin left, and I just kind of need to figure out what I'm doing with it. So I start filling random molds with bits and pieces or drips of resin. There, we'll try and dome that Christmas tree in its mold. I did a poor job. The resin spilled everywhere around that Christmas tree, and I ended up having to throw it away because there was no cleaning it up. And some galaxy mix into the cat head shaker mold. Use heat because I don't really care about that mold, and get the resin spread out very well. No resin left behind, so I am going to go ahead and fill what I can with the little bits and pieces of resin that I have left and call it a day. Check out Shorts, Facebook, or Instagram for the demolds. Thank you all for allowing me to stumble through another voiceover. I appreciate everybody. Thank you for watching.